ॐ स्थापकाय च धर्मस्य सर्वधर्मस्वरूपिणे अवतारवरिष्ठाय रामकृष्णाय ते नमः। जननीं शारदां देवीं रामकृष्णं जगद्गुरुं पादपद्मे तयोः श्रित्वा प्रणमामि मुहुर्मुहुः। सर्वमङ्गलमाङ्गल्ये शिवे सर्वार्थसाधिके शरण्ये त्र्यम्बके गौरी नारायणी नमोस्तुते। I am glad that the annual Durga Puja is being celebrated in the same grand manner, but with less direct participation for obvious reasons at the Chennai Mutt. This Durga Puja is called the Sharadiya Durga Puja, that is, the Puja of Durga performed in the winter. Earlier, it used to be performed in April-May, that was summer almost, and was called Vasanti Puja. It is said that Sri Ramchandra invoked the Divine Mother during winter instead of summer, because before him was the task of conquering Ravana in Sri Lanka. Sri Ramakrishna recommends the spiritual sadhana, calling upon God as Mother, as very easy and should be followed by the present sadhakas. Such spiritual practice would succeed by the grace and compassion of the Divine Mother towards her own children, that we are. He himself worshipped God as Mother Kali. He worshipped the Divine Mother Shodashi in Holy Mother. He asked Swami Vivekananda when he went to him for some troubles in his family to pray to Mother Kali for relief from his family troubles. So Sri Ramakrishna was very, very clear in his exhortation. The puja of God in the form of Mother, calling him as Mother, is very, very easy and fruitful. The puja of the Divine Mother was started in the headquarters of Ramakrishna Mutt in the year 1901 by Swami Vivekananda himself. During the puja, the Holy Mother herself came and stayed in nearby one bungalow called the Neelambar Babu's garden house. It is very near the main mutt, and she stayed and received the worship of hundreds of devotees as the living Durga on the Durga Puja days. She stayed on the very premises of the Durga Puja in the Belur Mutt. One day, a few days before the Durga Puja, commencement of Durga Puja, Swami Vivekananda had a vision of Mother Durga being worshipped, conducted in the mutt in an image. It was a dream or a vision. Hence, Swamiji decided to start Durga Puja and perform the first puja, as I already mentioned, in 1901. Swami Brahmananda also, Swami Brahmananda, whom you know as the spiritual son of Sri Ramakrishna, the first president of the Ramakrishna Mutt and Mission. So he also had a vision at the same time in which he saw Mother Durga coming over Ganga from Dakshineshwar and entering the Belur Mutt grounds. So Swamiji had a vision and Brahmananji had also a vision of Mother coming to the Belur Mutt grounds. The worship was conducted following all traditional rules and regulations. It is being continued till date, attracting several hundred thousands during the 5 days of the puja. Mother is also worshipped in a small girl of 7 or 8 years old as Kumari. Kumari is the name of Durga also. And this is a Kumari, just it is a small girl. Kumari means a small girl, which attracts thousands of devotees. The most important puja is on the Ashtami day, the 8th day, when the Sandhi puja is performed. Sandhi is the conjunction of the 8th day and the 9th day. 48 minutes, 24 minutes of the 8th day and 24 minutes of the 9th day, Ashtami and Navami. That is called the Sandhi Vela, Sandhi Samaya. So that puja performed in that period is called Sandhi Puja. If somebody is unable to attend the whole puja, if you attend the Sandhi Puja, the tradition is that you will get the full fruit of attending the whole puja. So Sandhi Puja is a very, very important puja. Sandhi is the meeting point of Ashtami and Navami days, which was the time when Mother Durga killed the demon Mahishasura. This Durga Puja is very famous all over West Bengal, not only in the temples and mutts, but also in the households. We know Sri Ram Krishna's heroic disciple Girish Chandra Ghosh performed it annually. Sri Ram Krishna himself attended the puja in his house, and later on Holy Mother also attended the puja in his house. Holy Mother was asked about the genuineness of Durga Puja by some devotees. She emphatically said, "It is true that Mother Durga with all her attendants visits this earth during the Durga Puja and stays during all the days of the puja with the devotees and blesses all her devotees." So the Durga Puja is not an imagination or sentiment, but a celebration of the actual visit of the Divine Mother to the earth from her heavenly abode every year, year after year. Even now, hundreds of sincere devotees, both monks and lay, feel the Divine Mother's presence, especially during the Sandhi Puja, which I have already explained. We, the devotees of Sri Ramakrishna, are blessed to continue this Divine Mother's Puja all over the world and receive the blessings of the Divine Mother for our onward progress in spiritual life as well as in our secular life. Here it would be good to recall Sri Ramakrishna's Shakti worship and his supernatural attainments. Sri Ramakrishna called the whole manifestation of the cosmos, it is the Shakti of the Brahman. Brahman is seen as one only, nothing else, Advaita Brahma. So this one only Brahman, there is no creation there. Sri Ramakrishna, when creation takes place, the creation also is from Brahman only. It is only through the Shakti of him. Therefore, he used to call the whole creation, the whole cosmos, as the Shakti of Brahman. So, Sri Ramakrishna called the whole universe, the people, the sentient, the insentient, all thing is a visible appearance, is a visible form of the infinite Brahman, which we see in Samadhi. So, he worshipped this visible Brahman also. He taught us the great worship of God in man. This is nothing but worship of Shakti in the visible form of Brahman. So we will recollect some of his important statements about this worship of Shakti. All of Sri Ramakrishna's sadhanas have harmony as their core. Regarding the diverse sadhanas that he performed, Sri Ramakrishna concluded that all doctrines are only so many paths. All religions are so many paths. But a path is by no means God himself. Indeed, one can reach God, he said, if one follows any of the paths with wholehearted devotion. So he also says, the Divine Mother revealed to Sri Ramakrishna, though the Divine Mother revealed to Sri Ramakrishna that just as she is of the form of blissful mother, she is also of the nature of the formless, pure consciousness. That is, she is form also, she is formless also. She is both with form and without form. She is both with attributes and without attributes, and much, much more. Third one he said was, Sri Ramakrishna said that Brahman and Shakti are one. He said, he whom you address as Brahman is none other than she whom I call Shakti, Kali, the primal energy. It is called Brahman in the Vedas when it transcends speech and thought and is without action. I call it Shakti, Adya Shakti, and so forth, when I find the same Brahman creating, preserving, and destroying the universe. Therefore, the same Brahman, when he is without creation or doing any of the creation, preservation, and destruction, he is the Brahman, and he becomes the Shakti, the visible universe, when he performs the actions of creation, maintenance, and destruction. The fourth one he said was, even though there is the manifestation of Shakti in everything, that has name and form, that means all created things, in women there is the greatest expression of the Shakti. It is true to this, it is due to this speciality that women are worshipped as symbols of the Divine Mother. We have seen Kumari Puja, the Divine Mother being worshipped in a small girl. Sri Ramakrishna worshipped his wife, Sharda Devi herself, as the Divine Mother, Tripura Sundari, and offered all the fruits of his sadhana at the end of his 12 years of tapasya, austerities, at her feet. He considered all women as the representatives of the Divine Mother. That is a unique teaching as well as practice that he has shown to us in the religion. He has taught us the practical Vedanta. Sri Ramakrishna's sadhanas had ended with his practice of Advaita Vedanta. In reality, whatever sadhana he undertook, Shakta, Vaishnava, and Shaiva, all were with the ideal of oneness and Advaita in his mind. He reached Advaita in all paths, whether it was Shakta, Vaishnava, Shaiva, which we call as Dvaitic schools, Dvaita philosophy, but he attained Advaita through that. So these steps, one step by step, you won't reach the same goal, that is God, who is neither one nor two, indescribable. So we need not quarrel about it. That was the great teaching of Sri Ramakrishna. Shakti worship of Sri Ramakrishna finally established him in the pinnacle of Advaita Vijnana. He talks about Vijnana more than Jnana. Jnana tells you that this world is temporary. This world is like a dream. Sri Ramakrishna says it is as true as anything that you call as true in your life. So this is as true as Brahman himself. Brahman also is true and his Shakti also is true. So his Advaita does not say this manifested world is a dream, but it is another form of Brahman himself. That is why the seva of man, seva of God in man, becomes a very important part of Sri Ramakrishna's practical Vedanta. He saw the whole universe as Brahman itself, seeing the living being as Brahman himself. Nara became Narayana for him. Love of the living being became love for Shiva, and service to the living beings became worship of Shiva. So this is how he said Shivajnane Jiva Seva, which is the core of all the welfare activities of the Ramakrishna Merchant Mission and the devotees who belong to this philosophy and religion of Sri Ramakrishna. 7, he said, that Divine Mother, whom Sri Ramakrishna worshipped as Tripura Sundari, and at whose feet he offered everything he had attained. That very power whom Swamiji considered the living Durga, Holy Mother Sharda Devi also supported. Expressing the motherhood of God fully in her, she added strength to Sri Ramakrishna's Shakti worship. The Divine Mother herself came as Sharda Devi, as we all know from her life, and showed unsurpassed love towards all, irrespective of sinners or saints, caste, creed, color, gender, or station of life, and served everyone, thereby establishing the very, very high ideal of divine motherhood. She manifested divine motherhood before us, and her life is a great ideal for every woman to follow and manifest the glorious power within herself. Monks and devotees of the Ramakrishna movement feel that they are the children of the Divine Mother. They seek her grace and pray to her earnestly to realize the goal of their lives, and they succeed very easily. Holy Mother again and again said about this point, Sri Ramakrishna, through his sadhana, has dedicated all his tapasya, his austerity to us. So it is Divine Mother through Sri Ramakrishna that has deposited so much of merits for us. So our spiritual path becomes very easy. That is how the devotees of Sri Ramakrishna find spiritual life not only interesting but easy of attainment of the goal. On this holy occasion, I am glad to send my hearty blessings for the successful completion of the whole puja of 5 days from Shashti to Dashami. May Mother Durga confer her blessings on all the devotees, all the friends, and all the well-wishers who are in ashrama or away from the ashrama due to this peculiar situation outside. May all the devotees develop sincere devotion for and faith on the Divine Mother who is with us in the form of Sri Ramakrishna, Holy Mother, and Swami Vivekananda. May we do our spiritual practices by Divine Mother's grace, make significant progress in our material as well as spiritual life. May we attain the goal of our life, that is God realization, and lead a life of service to God as long as we are here in this earth, is my prayer to the Divine Mother. Jai Ram Krishna, Jai Mother Durga, Om